Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into your Saturday edition of Good Morning Vail. We love getting to be here each and every morning to introduce you to some wonderful locals, some great activities taking place in the community, and always so much more. We've got a great show in store for you as we're going to introduce you to one fabulous local and all of the great things she does here in the community. That's Rachel, so we'll be bringing you some more information. See, Anthony Gallery up in Beaver Creek has a new artist, and they're excited to announce an upcoming show with him that you're not going to want to miss out on, only because his work is so phenomenal. Then we've got Bill Humbert, the recruiter guy, giving us some expert tips on how you can either be the perfect candidate or find the perfect candidate in the job board search rut, which sounds pretty intimidating, but we're going to give you some more information. Then, of course, if you're looking for something fun to do tomorrow, well, then Vail Rec District has you covered, and we're going to bring you some more information on that here in just a moment. Good Morning Vail starts now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
This weather report is sponsored by Grand Hyatt Vail. Escape the cold and embrace the après-ski vibes at the Grand Hyatt Spa, where you'll find tranquility rooted in traditional alpine wellness.
Lens of the Day is brought to you by Eyepieces of Vail and Goggle Bar.
It's time for Lens of the Day, sponsored by Eyepieces of Vail. Eyepieces of Vail has locations in Basalt, Snowmass, Vail, Lions Head, Beaver Creek, and Edwards for all of your eyewear, and in this case, helmet needs. Today we're going to talk about the Smith Nexus. Now, there's been a lot of new technology that has taken place in some of these helmets. This is no exception to that. The helmet has 22 different vents, so it offers, a lot of comfort, whether the temperature you're skiing in is cold or a little bit warmer. So all throughout the season, this helmet is a perfect option for you. It's also got MIPS, which most helmets now are getting the MIPS, that multi-impact protection that allows you the mobility of the helmet, so when you hit or take a direct impact, it inflects it around so you don't feel a direct force. A new technology that's built into this helmet is Choroid. Now, Choroid is a series of tubes that also impact direct forces. So that allows the injury not to be sustained to the person wearing it, but to be impacted throughout the helmet. You'll see some of the impact joints right here, similar to what you see on some of the new NFL helmets, to where it takes that force off of who is going to receive it and disperses it throughout the helmet. What a great product this is, and it's so durable. This is something that is going to last season after season. So Smith has great technology. The Choroid is something new that they're building in the helmets. You partner these with some Smith goggles, and you've got the best technology to allow for a very safe and enjoyable day on the mountain, whether you're snowboarding or skiing. It's going to offer everything that you want. Eyepieces of Vail, great partner here at TV8 and Good Morning Vail. Make sure You visit one of their local areas, whether you're in Basalt, Snowmass, Vail, Lions Head, Beaver Creek, or here in Edwards.
Good morning, Vail.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire an expert to develop your website reel, commercials, live stream events, studio production, and more. If you can dream it, we can help you do it. TV8 delivers high-quality content in both English and Spanish. Contact us today to discuss your next project. Email Danielle at tv8vail.com or call 970-628-9881.
This show looks at anything that has an engine and a story told by the owners. This is a scooter. Have you had it the whole time?
I have not. It's actually the third time I've owned the car.
Sell regret, sell regret. To the actual prototype GT40, I got to sit in that car.
Oh, I gotta get me one of these, man.
We've got all the muscle, the speed, and the stories.
I got stage 4 cancer. A bunch of friends came together and decided that this thing needed to get done, man. A lot of friends came together and made this thing happen.
Hey, if it has an engine and a story, you're going to hear about it on rides. Almost every vehicle, doesn't matter what walk of life you're from, there's some tie to your past.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television program that helps veterans find jobs and transition back into civilian life. Hi everyone, I'm Gigi Stone Woods. I'm truly honored to host this vital program. Reach out to the opportunities you see on this program by logging onto our website, hiringamerica.net, and by following us on social networking sites such as Twitter. We'll keep that information available throughout the broadcast and on our website 24/7. Now, let's get down to business.
For the latest and greatest trends in pop entertainment, Popstar Today brings you compelling celebrity lifestyle stories that matter most to you. From movies, music, TV, and streaming shows, to fashion, social media influencers, and the latest on who is seeing who. Join host Elizabeth Stanton as she digs deep and dives in. This is Popstar Today.
Good morning, Vail.
We're always so excited to introduce you to new people to the community, and we're introducing you to one very special artist. That's Doug Bem. He's a new artist up at the C. Anthony Gallery, and we're really excited to showcase some of his beautiful pieces. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us this morning.
Thank you.
Now, you've been an artist all your life. You've always worked in the creative field, but you really have followed your passion recently.
That's true. I've always been in art. It's part of my history of my life. My great aunt was a famous artist, and my father, who obviously realized that, embraced that and allowed me to kind of pursue it through my childhood and growing up, and then I became I went to fine art school and a commercial art school, and I decided to go into advertising, which allowed me to kind of still be very creative and do a lot of quick turn kind of ideas. I drew a lot, and so I did that for many years, for about almost 40 years. And then I decided, once I was done, to start pursuing oil painting. And so I just threw myself back into that. And wildlife has always been something I've been passionate about, as far as drawing, capturing, and I just find that the souls of of animals is very interesting.
And your pieces are so beautiful. They're so exquisitely detailed. So you've got a wolf right behind you and a bear right behind you, and you really paint in this realistic format.
I do. I try to capture the personalities and the life of them. I obviously try to figure out kind of settings and scenarios that would be kind of capture them in more of a realistic environment as well. And like I said, the eyes of most creatures are where you can really kind of connect to. So it's something I've always been passionate about. Right, very early on, when I was like 8 years old, my first, I guess, art fair competition, local art fair, I drew mostly wildlife. I drew, lions and owls and impalas, and I won some awards for that. So it's always been kind of part of what I like to capture.
Which I think is so wonderful because we live in such a place to do so. We're surrounded by so many of these incredible animals. Now let's talk a little bit about your process, because are you using oil? Is it on canvas?
I do primarily work in oils. It's actually a water mixable oil by Winsor Newton. I do that just to kind of minimize the smell, because I started in my home and I still am working out of my home. This is more of a home studio. So I don't want the kind of, the aromas and the odors of turpentine and other things like that. But I find that, and I explored the types of water mixable oils, and Winsor Newton was really the best. And so I stuck with that, and it's all done on canvas.
Which is incredible. So as you're going through, do you do the background first and then you paint the animals as you've kind of decided what you're going to do as that background?
Yeah, it's, my process is, once I decide on what I want to paint and what subject, I do a lot. I actually sit and think about the design of it, the layout, and then I think about the tones and textures and the story itself of what's going on. So like in the wolf, I wanted a winter wolf kind of the scene, and I like the monochromatic nature of winter, because obviously all of the colors kind of start to fade away in the whites of the snow, and so trying to capture that and giving that scenario is kind of what I wanted to kind of do for that subject matter. Unlike the bear, who in the woods in a dark and kind of, it's called the encounter, and I wanted to kind of capture that kind of moment of kind of this darker, kind of moodier, kind of interesting vibe with the aspens and a light kind of capturing that moment of like it, you guys connecting eyes, and in the woods it would be kind of truly an encounter that would be interesting.
It would definitely be interesting, quite scary as well. And that one is so fantastic. I was looking at it over your shoulder, and the way that the light captures on top of the bear, really bringing it to life, like you're in that moment. That sun is kind of coming through those aspens, but you are in the woods.
Right, and that's kind of what I wanted to capture as well. And that's that moment that, most people walking through the woods would never kind of hopefully never have that happen to them, but when it does, it would be that kind of moment of like meeting eyes, and then what do you do? But I'm not trying to scare anybody, but just trying to capture that moment of that little encounter.
That wonder that comes with being in the woods, because we all think it. No one goes hiking and is like, oh, there's nothing out here. We live in the mountains. You're a Colorado native, so you live up in these mountains too. You understand that it is possible for this encounter to happen at any given time. Now, you do these hyper-realistic paintings that are absolutely fabulous. They're so well done. They're beautiful. They're detailed. But then you have this kind of contemporary style that's spectacular too.
Yeah, I mean, I've really been focusing on oil painting for the past few years. And so I try to challenge myself. I want to explore different ways to kind of express an image or things like that. And I'm trying this, and I've been doing this besides the the realistic area. a little more of what I call blur, and it's basically painting it in a very subject matter in a monochromatic way, still detailed, but at the end, I actually go over it and brush with a large brush, and I blur the whole image. So it gives it a kind of a little more of a, what I call a experience when, like, you want to focus on something, you want to capture the focus and the details, because that's what human nature is and humans do. And the experience is kind of compelling, and I kind of like it for that reason. And I think that when you see them in person, they become even more interesting and more compelling.
I love it because I love to see all of the work that C. Anthony Gallery collects. Now, you're going to be on exhibition there, so people can come, they can meet you, they can experience your work, and they can see all of the beautiful details of your pieces for themselves. So when can they expect to see you up there?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I mean, I really appreciate C. Anthony and the opportunity to have this show for the 17th and 18th, and I'm excited for people to come out and take a look, ask questions, you know, really kind of connect to my pieces, and hopefully they really enjoy it.
I mean, you have pieces for everyone. That blurred effect is such a unique way to look at that art, and knowing that it starts in this very in-depth way with all the detailing, and then of course to have the more realistic pieces that so many people are drawn to, because that wildlife aspect here is something that we do encounter regularly and we do get to see. So if people are making their way up to C. Anthony Gallery, it is January 7th and 18th, and what time will you be there?
I think it's the show will start around 4, from 4 to 8. So I should be there. You know, I'll probably be there a little earlier, obviously, and hopefully I can see everybody and talk to everybody when they stop by and they enjoy it.
And fall in love with your pieces, and then they can have a Doug Bem piece of their own to take home, to collect, and to just get to worship all the time.
That would be very nice. And a lot of times I do think about how something I create and paint hangs on a wall in a home or an office or wherever, and I just imagine it being there, and just hopefully people really enjoy and fall in love with the work. I fall in love with it as I paint it, so I hope they appreciate it.
Doug, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this information, and thanks for sharing these tidbits of what you're in love with in each and every painting, because it's such a wonderful experience as the viewer of your work to get to find those details and fall in love yourself.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Maddie. I look forward to seeing everybody 17th and 18th.
Yes, we can't wait. Make sure that you make your way up to the C. Anthony Gallery the 17th and 18th. That's a Friday and Saturday. That way you have the opportunity to meet Doug Bem himself, see his new works, learn about his paintings, and see the entire expedition. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so don't go anywhere.
Good morning, Vail.
Next up, we've got a special duo from two of the best voices in the bluegrass and country genres.
We know you're going to love this one from Melanie Cannon and Willie Nelson. Here's Back to Earth.
Songs our love created, I still sing. And every night we make the rafters ring.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
I'm Jason Kennedy, and this is The Wager. Let's go, Wes! We've all heard about this pickleball craze. Celebrities are playing pickleball matches all the time, and they're challenging each other to these ridiculous bets. Now I'm bringing the cameras to their house with new celebrities and a new bet every week.
Hell of a rally there.
It's just real, genuine conversation.
I got invited to Usher's birthday party. What am I doing here?
And some pretty crazy antics.
Welcome to Nantucket Rope Bracelets. All of our stylish bracelets are handmade in our Nantucket workshop, using only the best non-shrinking line with soft, flexible finish. Find us at NantucketRopeBracelets.com and order your beautiful piece from Nantucket today.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that.
And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
Good morning, Vail.
We have so many wonderful individuals here in our community, and one of them is Rachel Glowacki and all of the great things she does. Whether you want to do some yoga, whether you want to get involved in some great nonprofits, she's your woman, so let's introduce you to her now.
Welcome back, everybody. Tuesday morning with me, Liz, and I'm so happy to have Rachel Glowacki on my sofa with me. Now, Rachel, you've sort of become a friend of mine. I had you on our local chat box podcast months and months ago, almost a year ago, and we were chatting, but I'm really happy to bring you onto TV8, where people actually watch and listen and learn a lot of great things. So I want to tell everybody about the wonderful things you do for our community. I want to start off, though, how you work with Mountain Youth, because you're a very altruistic person, and everything you do, whether it's your career or your lifestyle, you're always doing something for others, and that makes me very happy and proud to have you with me today.
Thank you so much. I love it. I teach yoga for little kids from 2 years old to the seniors. And I've been working at Mountain Youth for almost 5 years now.
Nice.
And teaching parenting classes. It's an evidence-based program called Active Parenting. We adapt it to our community in Spanish and English.
Wow.
And we work with families, mostly like middle school and high schoolers, just how to connect and communicate with your family and have a better relationship. So that's how I started off with Mountain Youth.
So that's interesting, because I agree with you. There are some families, when I grew up, we didn't really have a lot of deep discussions, or something happened to one of us. It was almost like the parents didn't really know how to deal with it. We're talking forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
So now, when there's communication skills within the home, I bet there's a much more there's a better flow, there's more respect, and there's just more contentment, I would venture to think so.
Yeah, and the program that we call, it's called We Hear You, so that parents feel heard and kids feel heard. And when we feel heard, we feel connected. And when we feel connected, we trust each other.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, think about it. I mean, I don't trust anybody that I don't feel connected to.
Right, and so it's like accessing that part of your brain where you feel empathy and connection. And that's kind of just encompasses all the things that I do, from teaching yoga, parents, and Move With Me books. And
that's remarkable. I just love everything that you do. So now that the parents are doing a great job with communication with their children, and vice versa, now the kids can feel more, I guess, at ease going to their parents to talk. I never felt comfortable going to talk to my parents about anything, but you obviously add an element to the family dynamic where they feel like it's okay to be open and honest with each other, so nobody's sneaking off or parents aren't hiding from the kids or anything. They have an open dialogue.
I think because I always start off these sessions, and all the facilitators do at Mountain Youth, like, we are not therapists. We are facilitators and guides of a parenting class.
I love it.
And so it really creates a lot of ease for the parents and the students, so they're teens or tweens, to feel like, okay, I'm just a guide to help you bridge some gaps here.
Yes. Well, there's a stigma attached when somebody thinks you're a therapist in front of a family. It's a little different. You're just a wonderful lady that's there to help.
I'm a mom of teenagers, so
Oh my
I get
God.
it.
You
I totally get that.
That's amazing. Well, I love what you do for Mountain Youth, and everybody that if you're interested to take any kind of these classes, how do they reach out to you over there?
They go to Mountain Youth and there's a referral page.
Nice.
Usually it's the school counselors that refer us, but we have, like, we're going to start working on actually having group education classes.
Nice.
So that, you know, we can reach more families
Okay.
that way. Yeah.
I think that's magnificent. So you're working with the minds and the feelings of the families, but then you also move on over to the spiritual form of our bodies and the way we can really move and feel at peace and be healthy and be less vulnerable to illness. Because I believe when you are working out and you do yoga exercises and things like that, you're building a base within yourself to stay a little healthier.
100%.
Yeah, I was right.
Yes, she's right. The word yoga means to connect.
Okay.
And so if you have a definition, it's like, how can your mind and your body and your heart have harmony? And sometimes our minds are saying one thing and then our hearts are saying another, right? And you're having this
Normally
conversation.
that's the story.
Right. And so how do we make peace there? And that's why I bring in literature and children's books. So I love picture books. And so I look at them and I say, okay, how can I create movement? Like, what kind of yoga pose would embody this book? And what kind of breath exercise would, so you're breathing in the words and moving along to the pictures. And for people who are neurodivergent, meaning like really have a hard time sitting still, you have ADD, you have HSP, or you can't sit still and look and listen to a book.
I'm neurodivergent, I think.
I am too, and I need movement to integrate so I can have an understanding of what I'm reading. So when I embody it and we put movement and breath to it, it increases concentration, but also the mindfulness part increases compassion.
Ooh, I like that. And it has to also elicit some kind of calm within your person, because like you just said, that neurodivergent thing, I'm moving. I'm never stop.
Yeah.
And I would love to be able to just be.
Right. And I always feel bad for the kids that are sitting in a circle and like they like just sit on their hands, or they really have a hard time listening and focusing, and I'm like, oh, we can spark sensory memory with movement.
Oh, I love this so much. I wish this was here when I was a kid.
I wish I had it too. And I started doing with my kids when they were little, because I was an adult yoga teacher. And I just took all of their kids' books and just started learning how to piece it all together.
That's amazing. You did a lot of research on this.
Yeah.
I thought my name when I was a child was Fidget.
Aww.
Because everyone's like, don't put her next to me, she fidgets. That one's a fidget. So
but what if you had something, so some of the things I teach my students who have a hard time sitting still or focusing, you can bring your hands right underneath the table and finger tap.
I also heard that's for anxiety.
It is, and it really does help you focus, because you have to, you have sensory input.
Yeah.
And then you can connect mantra with it. I am listening. I have compassion. Whatever words you want.
It's almost a meditation practice.
It's a meditation, finger tapping. It just kind of like grounds you in, and you could do it right under your desk, and it could help with the fidgets.
Wow. Where were you when I was a child? You weren't born yet. That's where you were. This is amazing. And I know that you are also an author, and you were explaining to me before we came on how other people, they will give you their books and you will create a space for people to be able to absorb that book in a much better way than just sitting down and reading it.
Yeah, so
Move With Me.
So Move With Me Books it's a YouTube channel, and it's intentional so that parents, teachers, schools can have free resources and have one way to engage with technology in a healthy way, to make reading fun and engaging, and to incorporate some mindfulness and movement.
I love this.
And so authors submit their books to
Right.
Move With Me Books, and I create a lesson plan, and then we produce it. My business partner and I, Carly Fink, she produces, she's the magic behind the screen, and we put the pictures up, we breathe in the words, we move along to the pictures, and pull out the themes of the story so literature can be embodied.
That's interesting. Can we have a small example, like, I don't know, the little engine that could?
Well, yesterday I taught at the Family Learning Center, and I had the 2s and the 4s, and we're going on a bear hunt.
Ooh.
Do you remember that story? We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. And then I'd be like, we're not scared.
So you almost acted out.
We acted out with body and a lot of
that.
yoga postures. So it's like they had to go through the forest. So we all stood up and put our feet on the ground and became the forest.
This is so cute.
So then we became the forest. And then there was a snowstorm in the story. And then we went, shh, shh, shh. Then there was this swishy, swishy grass. Let's be long, wavy grass.
They must love this.
It was so fun. And then we tiptoed around the room. And then we became bears.
Oh my God.
And
so
then
they're
we
getting
made
the
a cave.
story.
They're getting the story.
They're engrossed in it, but they're also active in it.
Yes, and moving and breathing to it. So that was super fun.
That's a really cute idea. And that is also probably a stepping stone to teaching them yoga practices.
Yes.
Because first they're having fun with the book and the story, but then as they get that, when that becomes easy, they probably want to be challenged more.
Yeah, and even with music is really a great teaching tool.
Mhm.
I was amazed that there was like the 2s and 3-year-olds who were sitting like this.
Oh my gosh.
Because they got to move and release energy. So you're not forced to sit still.
Yeah.
And then you're in a space, once you release energy, you're able, you can have those moments of quiet. You can hold your hand over your heart and feel, and then one little kid goes, my heart is beeping.
It's beeping.
It's beeping really fast. I was like, okay, let's feel our beeping heart.
That's cute.
And then I had, we all placed our hands on our hearts, and then we took very slow breaths. And I'm like, and that is how you can slow down your heart.
Yeah.
So even the teachers were benefiting from the class.
Yeah, I bet.
It was just a beautiful way to connect.
I think no matter what age you are, if you can learn about any type of breath work, it can save you. I mean,
magic.
anxiety alone, that for me, when I might have learned this from you,
Oh yeah, the hiker's breath.
That is from you. Oh my God, see, stuff sticks.
It does.
If you're feeling like seriously anxious and stuff, and you do that, it just calms everything down. Now, we've already been talking for 10 minutes, and I don't want to leave before you do a little practice with me.
Awesome.
This is a wonderful way to close out my interview with you. Rachel Glowacki, please make sure you keep your eye on her. All of your classes and all the things you do for our community are magical. And now we're going to do a little lesson.
Yes.
And then
This is how I close most of our classes, from 2-year-olds to 90-year-olds, and we bring our hands together at our forehead, and you can repeat after me, Liz.
Okay.
And everyone watching at home, repeat after me. May there be peace in my thoughts.
May there be peace in my thoughts.
May there be peace in my words. Hands to your mouth.
May there be peace in my words.
Hands to heart. May there be peace in my heart.
May there be peace in my heart.
We all open our eyes and make the peace sign. So may there be peace in our homes, in our communities, and then we make the globe with our hands.
May we make peace in our homes and our communities.
Take a breath in. Peace breath into the world. Have a peaceful day. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you very much,
you.
Rachel
What a
Glowacki,
treat.
everybody. Please reach out to her if you really want to have a great feeling of peace and harmony in the home and work and everywhere else. This is the lady. I appreciate you being
Thank
here.
you.
You're amazing.
You're
We'll be
amazing.
right back with more TV8 after this. Rachel Glowacki, everybody.
Good morning, Vail.
Discover the perfect blend of style and performance in your eyewear at Eyepieces. With convenient locations in Vail Village, Lions Head, Beaver Creek, Edwards, Basalt, and Snowmass, Eyepieces is the destination for luxury eyewear and high-performance optics. From iconic brands to the latest in sport frames and snow goggles, we have the eyewear to match your mountain lifestyle. Plus, we offer prescription lens services, including eye exams, custom lenses, and prescription goggles for your mountain adventures. Visit us today to experience the art of vision. Eyepieces, serving the Vail Valley's vision needs for over 40 years.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Morgan. I'm with Ron Byrne & Associates. And today I'd like to welcome you to Mine House and Mi Casa, a premier bed and breakfast right here at the base of Beaver Creek Mountain. Let's go inside.
This
property is currently being run as a bed and breakfast with 20 bedrooms, all with ensuite bathrooms. Right now we are standing in Mi Casa, and next door we also have Mine House. A wonderful opportunity to own a turnkey hospitality business, but it's also an opportunity to own it as a private residence. It can be sold all as one or in individual pieces, however you choose.
So now that we've had a chance to show you these two amazing properties, Mi Casa and Mine House,
We would love the opportunity to show you in person. Give us a call.
Good morning, Vail.
Are you looking for a great way to kick off tomorrow morning? Well, then Vail Rec District has you covered, as they've got a great event taking place up on Beaver Creek Mountain. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to chat with Wyatt, who's going to give us some great information on how you can participate in all of the fun. The Vail Rec District always has so many wonderful things taking place, and I'm joined by Wyatt Smith to talk about some of the great upcoming events. Good morning, Wyatt.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's a little chilly out there first thing this morning, making
Yep.
great snow conditions for us, though.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a great start to the season, so we can't complain.
That is true. And you guys have an upcoming event for those die-hard ski athletes.
Yeah, for those people that like to go up, I mean, it's also for board mows, snowboarders, runners too. So not just the skiers, but it's the Block and Chapeau Beaver Creek Uphill on Sunday. So it's starting at 7 a.m. So even earlier, but beautiful day out there today. So these are the conditions you get to see when you get up to the top, beautiful views, and then you get down and you have a delicious breakfast sandwich.
Well, if you start at 7 a.m., you're going to catch that sunrise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the best part about it. And it's like, it's cold, but you're not alone being cold. You're with like 100 more people with you. So it's great.
There's that great saying, misery enjoys company, and these are for the people who enjoy that extreme endurance sport first thing in the morning, and then you all get to come together in that camaraderie of being chilly.
Absolutely. And then what's lovely is that we get back down to Beaver Creek Village, and they'll have some nice heating lamps and some stuff out there so that we get to warm right back up after we're done.
And then you get to talk about your experience. So for people who don't know what they can expect with an uphill event, let's talk a little bit about what it's like.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, you get out there, it's cold, you're wearing your layers, you start wanting to go up the mountain, and then you overheat. So you actually do kind of dress cold, but you don't dress too cold because you're going to warm up. And then you get up to the top, you take off your skins, you put into downhill mode, you detach your board together, and then you send it right back down the mountain, into that finish. Or if you're running, you get to hang out by a little fire up there, and then you get to go onto the gondola, and you get a nice, beautiful ride back down to that finish area.
Oh my gosh, how incredible. So if people are interested, what's the course look like? Where are they going to be skinning up?
Yeah, so it's going to start at Centennial Lift in Beaver Creek, starting at 7 a.m. They can pick up their bibs at 6 a.m. before that at down in the village, or they can pick it up the day before, 4 to 6 p.m. if they don't want to wake up that early because it's dark then. And they can go over to Cripple Creek Saturday, 4 to 6 in Avon to pick up their bib. But then starting at Centennial, they're going to be going up Gold Dust. So it's a bit mellower, bit longer. Last year is up Latigo, so we're kind of mellowing it out a little bit. They get up to Spruce Saddle, so they've gone up about 2,000 vertical feet over 2 miles. So it's just kind of like stairs for 2 miles. Then you get to this, then you get to the Spruce Saddle. You turn around, and then you go all the way down Latigo. So it's nice and sandy all the way down. Really fun.
Which is fun and a great way to start your Sunday, especially if you're someone whose New Year's resolution is to get in shape.
Absolutely. I mean, there's those people that love to go to the gym. It's not for everyone. This is a great workout, in my opinion, one of the best you can get in 1 hour. It's working your upper body, working your cardio, working your legs, getting everything you need.
And it's fun because you're with a group of people who also love this. We were just talking off camera. We're both longtime locals of Eagle County. And so this is one of those activities that keeps a lot of people here and in love with what our community has to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a family-friendly event. Bring your friends, bring your family. It's a great time. We got raffles afterwards, so it's always a fun time. You always have the chance of winning something. And then if you can't make the Beaver Creek one, we have plenty more. We got Arrowhead on the Saturday following, which I believe is the 22nd. And then we also have the Vail Uphill, which is in honor of Lyndon Ellefson, which will be the 14th annual, I believe, and that is on the 9th, which is Super Bowl Sunday. So it's a great way to start your day.
Yeah, and especially if you're one of those people who loves the Super Bowl Sunday snacks.
Yeah, burn all that cardio, burn all those calories, and then munch down.
Earn your snacks. Earn your turns, but earn your snacks
Absolutely.
too.
It's a great time.
Now, if people are interested in getting more information, where can they go?
Yeah, so you can go to our website at vailrec.com. You could also, I'm a big advocate for just Google searching things, so you could just Google search Beaver Creek Uphill and Skimo is the official name, or you could even add in Block and Chapeau, Beaver Creek Uphill and Skimo. That is the full name. You can search Vail Rec Uphill. There's a bunch of different versions.
So we've got the website up right now, kind of giving you a little information into what you can expect taking place this weekend, and then that 2020 winter race schedule really giving, or 2025, excuse me, 2020, I just took a flashback in time. That race schedule really giving everyone the opportunity to find the race that works for them.
Yeah, I mean, I know people are signed up for every single one, like Ellen Miller is signed up for all of them. We all love her.
Yes.
And then where there's some that are only signed up for the ones they can, or they're signed up for each one, because I know there's people that live week by week.
Right, and sometimes here you have to. Things change quite quickly, and so it makes it nice. But it is a great way for people to get out, learn more about the community. So if someone's new to the community, we always recommend this as a great way to kind of network, make some new friends.
Absolutely. If you love being outside, you're going to be with like-minded people.
Yes, which is absolutely incredible. Now, if people are interested in some of the other activities, because this isn't the only thing that the Vail Rec District does, what else do you have coming up this winter season?
Yeah, well, so for us, we just have our races. We also are doing futsal for little kids. That's starting actually today, so that's really sweet. I know Dobson is doing some learn to skate, so if you're kind of wanting to have your kids learn to skate without being the one to teach them, or they want to figure skate, it's a great way to teach your kids that. I know gymnastics is going to start reopening up all their activities starting next week, because they've been doing a little bit of a renovation, so that's kind of great as well.
Yeah, all of the good things. We've got a great 2025 year, especially with you guys. What's taking place down in Eagle, there's just a lot happening, transpiring, and a lot to get people excited about.
Absolutely, it's a great time.
Wyatt, thank you so much for being here, giving us all this great information and getting people excited to be out there in the cold first thing in the morning.
Of course. I think it's a great time. It's a great way to start off your day.
And will you be there?
I will absolutely be there. I'll be at the top cheering you all on.
Oh, perfect. So a smiling, friendly face when you get to the top, and then all of the smiling, friendly faces that are doing it with you.
Yep. It's a great time. I love it.
Wyatt, again, thank you so much for being here this
Of course.
morning.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure that you check out all of the wonderful races coming up with the Vail Rec District. You're not going to want to miss out on the fun. It's a great way to kick off your early morning, and especially if your New Year's resolution is to get in shape this year. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to introduce you to Claire Noble, so don't go anywhere.
Good morning, Vail.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
Bill Humbert is an expert. He is the recruiter guy when it comes to looking for a new job or looking for a new candidate for the job. Well, there's such thing as a job board rut, and if you don't know what that is, well, then we're going to give you all the information right now. Welcome back to the show. Did you know there's such thing as a job board rut? Well, I'm here with the expert Bill Humbert, the recruiter guy. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Maddie. How are you today?
I'm wonderful and always excited to learn more about what the job board rut is and how candidates might be stuck in it, but how companies might be stuck in it.
Yeah, companies, they can get stuck in it very easily because it's the easy way to find candidates, they think. And so Bill Warren, back in 1992, so 32 years ago, he founded the Online Career Center that was later purchased by Monster, and most of you folks have heard about Monster. And I had the opportunity to leverage this because MCI was one of the initial companies. Now, my mission was to facilitate the transition of the new commercial billing systems IT organization from Pentagon City, Virginia to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where I later found out, had about 18 IT professionals who would meet the MCI culture, and that's very difficult. So that meant that I had to recruit a minimum of 120 candidates from all over the United States to Cedar Rapids.
And how many did you have to recruit over a certain period of time? Because I know there was an intense timeline to it.
You know, you're right, Maddie. I had from January 1st, 1993 to December 31st, 1993, and I was a sole recruiter, to recruit and have people in seats in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I needed a minimum of 120 people on board by December 31st, 1993. So, you know, that was really tough to do that. And I went to OCC and I looked at it, but unfortunately, at that point, very few candidates had ever heard of it. And so I had to find other ways to find the right people to bring them to Cedar Rapids and relocate them to Cedar Rapids.
Now, if it was not for the job board, what other tools did you use?
Well, I had this wonderful marketing person. Her name is Lori Gentle, and she was very creative and developed marketing tools for us to use. And then as I was working with with her and with the managers, so I worked directly with the managers. I didn't work with human resources. They were great in terms of supporting our efforts, filling the positions, telling me which recs I had open, and making sure the offer letters went out like that. Because if they didn't, then somebody else was going to snap up those candidates. And so I worked directly with the managers to find and recruit the right candidates.
And why do you feel like companies today are in a job board rut?
Well, I know that they're not going to want to hear this, but most companies do not have professional salespeople who are doing their recruiting. They have people who are very nice people and they're in HR, and HR professionals typically are hired to do the HR important work, benefits, compensation, employee development, employee relations, etc. And they are not competent, most of them, in a sales position. And during their interviews, they're not even interviewed for a sales position. So the only thing they know is to post positions on the job boards and then hope the right person is looking at the job board and they're posting.
Now, if a company is facing a recruiting challenge, that's where you come in as the expert to help them kind of get the traction going to find that perfect candidate. How can they get in contact with you?
You know, it's very easy to get in contact with me. Here is the QR code for looking at the job board or at my website that demonstrates that recruiting mirrors the sales process perfectly. And once they go through that, if they're interested in having a conversation with me, just go to the red banner on my homepage and it says Speak with Bill. Click on that, and at some time that's convenient for them, they can pick a date and a time that works for them that is on my calendar, and I'll talk to them. As a matter of fact, this morning I received a calendar notification from somebody who did that exact thing.
Which I think it's so wonderful because you can really help the starting process to find the perfect candidates and to help candidates find that perfect position. Now, as we're making our way through the end of the year, it is the time to start looking for a new job.
It is, and it's a time for managers to really beat the bushes and go after the people who aren't on the job boards, the really good people, and have them come on board. You can interview them, extend them an offer, and give them a start date in the brand new budget year after January 1st.
Bill, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this great information, and always helping business and candidates succeed in the best way possible.
Thank you, Maddie. It's fun for me to be here.
Make sure that you go to therecruiterguide.com. That way you can have the opportunity to chat with Bill himself and get all this wonderful information on how you can improve getting out of the job board rut. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
I'm Danella Richard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits. Ooh. Eating some of the best cuisine, and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world.
Stevie Lee Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces.
Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Good morning, Vail.
We want to thank you so much for tuning into your Saturday edition of Good Morning Vail. There's always so many wonderful things taking place in our community, and we love to get you in the know so that you can be part of all of the fun. Make sure that you tune in every single day because we're here 7 days a week to bring you all of this wonderful information. I've been your host, Maddie Evans, and we'll see you next time.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies.